Radio, back here with another live stream for you guys. Here to talk, here to shoot the shit. It's raining a little bit right now where I'm at, so I'm trying to get food in between shifts, and I don't want to get the fuck out the car yet. Thankfully, I have a little bit of extra time, a little bit more than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to have to rush straight to work, but some things happened. I ended up having to switch to a different location today. So I'm here. I'm getting food. I'm trying to wait for the rain to die out. That's going to happen. That's probably, just me going to be wishful thinking out here, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. Shout out to Andy, negative fan. I've seen this guy during live streams before. How you doing? Hope everything is okay. Hope I see you guys as well as Andy for the show tonight. Hot Tag Takes live at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope I see you guys there. I'm very, very for the show tonight. Lady by the name of Lisa Sears is on. She's a comic just like Darren Feinsilver, my co-host, just like I used to be on the stand-up circuit as well. But no, very excited for the show tonight. Anyways, let's get to what I want to talk about, which is Saturday night's main event. I figured I have a little bit of time. I'll do some predictions. What I looked at when I looked up the card, because I wanted to know the matches that were on there, it's only looking like a 4-match card, which is a low amount of matches. I'm sure they'll have backstage segments and things like that, but to me, it just seems like a low amount of matches, even for a Triple H show. I feel like we usually get like 5 or 6 minimum, but I feel like 4 is very, very low on the matches. I mean, I'm not really complaining, to be honest. I remember back when pay-per-views were 17-hour long and we had these 58-match spectaculars on it with like 14 main events throughout the entire pay-per-view. So I'm not complaining about a 4-match card. Everything will be spaced out. Everything will have room to breathe. Sometimes, honestly, less is more, and I feel like it's more of a good thing than a bad thing. So I'm not sitting here complaining about it. I will take it over having 142 matches and have the pre-show 13 hours long. You know what I mean? So with that being said, match predictions. So like I said, there's 4 matches on the card. Shout out to Mr. Python. Very excited to see you on. Appreciate you coming on. What do you think of Aleister Black and Selena Vegan working together? That is a typo for the ages. That is beautiful. Man, I think it's going to be good for them, especially Aleister Black, to have somebody in his corner. I do wonder what the plan is for him, though, because I feel like he's kind of lost in the shuffle. I'm from New Jersey, by the way. And I feel like they're trying to think of something for him, and I feel like we don't know what that is yet. I do feel like it gives him a little bit of something to work with, like it's something for us to pay attention to, and it'll help us keep our mind on him, especially because he's been challenging for the U.S. title a couple times as of late. But I do wonder what the plan is for Aleister Black. But it's something. I'm never going to be mad at them trying to do something with somebody. You know what I mean? Anyway, so, like I said, 4-match card for Saturday night's main event. The first one that we'll talk about is the triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship between the defending champion, the double champion right now, double champ Dom, Dirty Dominic Mysterio, versus Penta versus Rusev. And I'm intrigued, considering he's found a way to win, obviously by cheating, against both Penta and Rusev, which I do wonder how he's going to wriggle his way out of this one. And this might be a little bit of a hot take, especially because I didn't live through this. I'll get to what you're talking about in a minute, Andy. Don't worry. But I feel like it's almost like Ric Flair-esque, or obviously Eddie Guerrero. That's an obvious one, though. But it's got a decent amount of wrestling in it, and it's got great finishes where Dominic finds creative ways to cheat and somehow slime and sleaze his way for a win. So I'm curious to see how he's going to do it when he has to step in the ring with both Penta and Rusev. But at the same, I am genuinely excited for the match. Mostly for the finish, but I'm excited for the match. Hey, bro, love from Nigeria. I'm giving you love back to Nigeria. Shout out to you. Appreciate you guys in Nigeria tuning in. I love Priest and Black segments on SmackDown at the moment. I loved their last match, honestly. I think I made a couple of shorts about the fireball, especially because Damian Priest was like screaming when he was put hand out. The amount of Dragon Ball Z reference shorts that I have for Damian Priest in that match with Aleister Black is honestly ridiculous. You guys should absolutely go check them out. But I do think they have good chemistry. I do think they were putting together good segments. I do feel like I don't know where you should really go from here, and I think that's part of the reason why I feel like Aleister Black is lost in the shuffle. But at the same time, like I said, that's good with Selena Vega. That gives us something to talk about, which is never really a bad thing. But yeah, I'm excited for the triple threat match for the IC title at Saturday night's main event. Um, Mostly to see how, again, Dominic, how he sleazes his way out, because that'll be interesting to me. Next up, we've got Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, and I am excited for this one because of the turn that we saw. See, I also don't think the Judgment Day will last much longer with what Dom is doing to all of them. I just need Liv to come back and put Roxanne in her place. Honestly, I haven't keep having storyline enough to really understand what is happening. I know Dominic Mysterio is doing stuff with the El Grande Americanos, but I really haven't seen too many segments with the Judgment Day, and I kind of wish they had a little bit more of a spot thrown on them than they do right now. So I think that might be part of the reason why you feel this way, but I think that once Liv Morgan comes back, because I really haven't seen too much interaction between Dominic and Roxanne. So I really don't know it's going to go, to be honest. Because, like, I want something to happen with that. We just haven't gotten anything. Like, if that makes sense. Let's go Blue Jays, the one sport that I don't think I've ever talked about on this channel. That's so funny. But if you're a Blue Jays fan, shout out to you, Joe. Shout out to the Blue Jays. I love that YouTube name, by the way. Some people have the most outlandish shit, and that's actually creative. Shout out to you. Shout out to your YouTube name, and shout out to the Blue Jays. Anyways, back to it. Again, I'm excited for the Jade Cargill heel turn, and I feel like she kind of has to win the match because of it. You know what I mean? I feel like if you turn Jade Cargill heel and you have her lose to Tiffany Stratton, what was the point in turning her heel? You know what I mean? Like, we wasted that if we, 8 days prior, have her lose the match. And you could make the argument on the other side of it that, you know, she is building to something with Kiana James and Julia. That's going to become some sort of faction. But in the same breath, you could do that with a win. And honestly, I would be so much more intrigued by it if Jade Cargill allowed herself to get help from them to find a way to win the women's championship and overcome Tiffany Stratton. Obviously, an asterisk, but we did it. And that also gives a reason for the feud to continue, because I didn't think it was going to continue after SummerSlam. And I'm happy we got the heel turn instead, because everything feels fresh now. The feud feels fresh. The character for Jade feels fresh. Feels fresh right now. And this took a feud from something that I didn't really care to see anymore to something that I want to see continue after Saturday night's main event. I feel like the way to do that is to have Jade win. Plus, this is the championship that I see changing hands if any of them do chance, because Saturday night's main event it's not a PL. It's obviously not a normal Monday or Friday night show, but it's not a PLE. So that's the reason why we haven't seen so many title changes. And I do feel like if it's going to change, it's going to change with this match. So let me give a couple of shout out to SLS Bacon. Appreciate you tuning on. Hope you're doing well. Shout out to Fragalicious. I feel like that's a combination of Fergie and Star Trek. Like, I feel like that's what would happen if Fergie and Star Trek had a baby. Just Fragalicious. Or is that Battlestar Galactica where they say frack? I might be just confused. Somebody correct me if you have any idea. If not, that's fine. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Hello, Kevin Owens. I don't think my hair is short enough to be Kevin Owens. I think the do is a little bit long for that. It probably looks a little bit shorter than it actually is because I did hop out of the shower before driving here and I did have my hood on for a while. So, like, it's wet and it's flat. So, it probably looks shorter than it is right now. So, I don't think I have the hair for Kevin Owens, but I do appreciate the comparison. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not. The other two matches I actually talked about a little bit in the live stream that I did. Yeah, it's Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre and CM Punk versus Jey Uso. Are you from the hood? Absolutely not. I don't know what gave you that impression, but not at all. I would probably look really stupid if I lied about that right now. Can you speak Punjabi word like simple? I give you simple word. No, I can't speak Punjabi. I will have absolutely no idea what you're saying. You can type it in here. I'll just give you a shout out and then move on, to be honest with you. Roman Reigns really died because, I mean, I'd have to look that up. I doubt it. I'm not going with that right now. But, anyways, let me actually get back to Saturday night's main event. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. See, and I said this yesterday, I want Drew McIntyre to win because we've been playing up this downward spiral of Drew McIntyre for years, and he's managed to keep himself relevant throughout all of it. And I think this started when he lost to Roman Reigns because we really felt like Drew McIntyre was going to win. And that ended up not happening. And I feel like ever since then, we watched him challenge titles and lose. We watched him challenge for the IC title with Gunther and Sheamus at WrestleMania 39. He had his own feud with Gunther. And, ever since then, he feuded with CM Punk. Lost that feud, still managed to keep himself relevant. He has gotten in the title picture a couple of times, has still managed to stay relevant. And now he's feuding with Cody Rhodes and again is in that title picture. So I'm really hoping that Drew McIntyre wins. I honestly don't think it's going to happen here, but I would love to see it. But I do think Cody Rhodes is going to retain the championship after Saturday night's main event. I don't think they're going to have Cody Rhodes lose the title. Anyways, let me give a couple more shout outs. Shout out to Haidar. Shout out to KKR Fandom. That would be nice. Shout out to Penguin as well. And that being said, there's also CM Punk versus Jey Uso, I believe, is going to be the main event. Hornswoggle is the best wrestler in history. That's why he was recently interviewed by Stephanie McMahon. I mean, let's be real. We know Hornswoggle's, at the end of the day, is the GOAT. Shout out to Daniel Phillips for you coming on the show. Appreciate you being here, supporting. Anyways, before I get back into my predictions, make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. We are getting closer to 21,000 subscribers, and I'm hoping we get to 25K by the end of the year. Help me make that happen. Again, appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Anyway, what I believe is going to be the main event, CM Punk versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Who is your favorite? Stone Cold Steve Austin? I've actually talked about that in other videos, so go back and watch those. In all seriousness, WWE has been bad since 2009. I feel like they had bad moments. I feel like they've had bad years. I feel like the worst of it for me personally was in 2019. Obviously, the pandemic was its own brand of bad, but it was tough to do any type of entertainment back then. So, I think that they've had bad moments, but I think they've also had good stretches and storylines in that time. I feel like, there's the stuff with Daniel Bryan. I feel like Kofi Mania was running wild at one point, and that was in 2019. So I think you could point to a lot of good things, and I do think you could point to a lot of bad. If I was focusing on the bad all the time, I wouldn't be talking about this shit. I'm just going to be straight honest with you. So I see your point, but I think both good and bad stretches, good and bad storylines, and I think if you really enjoy it, then you take the good with the bad. My favorite wrestler is Rey Mysterio. That's a good favorite wrestler to have. Dude, I remember back watching old WCW matches of Rey Mysterio, and you look at some of the wrestlers of today that could do all the incredible high flying shit that they do. And Rey Mysterio is just as good, even 30 years ago, as those guys are today. Rey Mysterio was ahead of his time, and he's kind, and there's a reason why he's a Hall of Famer. So that's my take on Rey Mysterio. Love Bad Bunny. I don't know when Bad Bunny's coming back, but I wouldn't mind. I would certainly feel better about that than Travis Scott. Ruthless Aggression era was a blast. I started becoming a fan in the Ruthless Aggression era. So I feel like crowds were hyped back then, and I feel like it was a lot of fun. I would agree with you on that. When do you think AJ will be coming back, or if she's coming back? I think AJ Lee, and I could be wrong. Take what I say with a grain of salt because, like, I'm not like an informed journalist or anything. But I think I heard she's trying to get in better shape before she comes back full time, which is totally fine. Let her be comfortable with when she wants to come back. If she wants back, if she wanted to do it just for the one time to be able to feel that again, that's okay. I am totally happy with somebody else trying to do what's best for themselves. So I am 100% okay with AJ back at her own pace. Shout out to Jameis Timmons. Shout out to Pranjal. Sting is the best and never needed to go to WWF. Agreed 100%. It was a waste of time, honestly. And I think feels the same way, which is why after his retirement, he went back to AEW. So agree with you 100% on that. You look like Bryan. That's Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens in one video. I'm waiting for the person who says I look like Sami Zayn. Bring back the Bruiser and the Crusher from Minneapolis. I'm not even sure who that is, actually. So if you want to inform me on that, that would be great. I liked and subbed. Love the vibe. Keep grinding. Shout out to you, Never Fan the Great. You sound like you'll never be a fan, so it's kind of funny you said subbed. But I appreciate the support, man. Thank you so much. Every sub really does mean a lot. Shout out to Sohail. Good to see you, man. Thank you for supporting as well. Appreciate you guys. CM Punk and Jey Uso, again, I talked about this yesterday as well, and this was the main portion of the video, so I don't want to get too deep into this match, but I do feel like CM Punk is going to win. Jimmy is going to cost Jey Uso the match, and we're going to get a Jimmy and Jey Uso feud for a little bit before we get into some family stuff, which will be interesting to see. Never Fan the Great. Been a wrestling fan since 1995. I have been since you've been a wrestling fan since I was born, good sir. The 1960s. The Cruiser, what was it? The Crusher and the Bruiser. Yeah, those sound like 60 and 70 names. I see Mike Rotundo dying. I'm sorry for your loss, sir. But yeah, that's how I feel like that match is going to go. I don't want to spend too much time on that because, again, I talked about that in yesterday's video. If you guys want to check that out, feel free. We've been on here for 20 minutes, and I need some fucking food, and the rain is finally starting to die down, which is awesome. Roman Reigns. You make it sound like this man has ringworm, my guy. What's wrong with you? But anyways, as always, I appreciate you guys coming on, supporting the channel, allowing me to talk to you guys, and I'm these more and more each time, man. I'm having fun. I probably have said that a couple times as well, but with that being said, appreciate you guys coming on. Why won't you shave your beard, bro? Because I like my beard. Yeah, we got Sami Zayn. I knew it. I knew it was gonna happen. I knew somebody was gonna do it. We got Kevin Owens. We got Daniel Bryan. I knew somebody else was gonna say Sami Zayn because that's what I hear people say the most. Holy shit! Hell no, I'm not shaving. But ah, damn, that's a shame. But anyways, shout out to the rest of you guys that have come in: Jai Shri, J Mac, Naha Kaja. I'm trying with these pronunciations, man. No shaving could not come in the chat. Cody as well. Get a haircut, you're hillbilly. That sounds like hillbilly grammar. Like that sounds like a Midwestern's right there. You got to get the juice, Weasel. I'll fuck with that. But anyways, before this rain picks back up, let me just say once again, appreciate you guys. Again, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Help us get to 25,000 subscribers. You guys have a good one as well, and you're welcome as well from the U.S., sir.